1.w.yard and Comcast cable. So why don't you call and let's discuss the Holy Bible? And if you have one, the Holy Quran, and come to an agreement about the Holy Scriptures and the true meaning. So tune in to Scriptural Discussion with the Son of Man every Sunday at 12 noon, right here on TV 33, FM 88.1 WYR, and Comcast cable. You can call in live on the air at area code 313-868-4336, 868-0342, and 868-0351. Of course, the area code is 313. That's 313-868-4336, 868-0342, and 868-0354. And now let's go live. Scriptural Discussion. Son of Man.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just. I greet all of you once again with the greeting words of peace from the Lord of the worlds. May Allah's Salam Alaikum. We have many things that we want to share with you. First, I need to say that I know I had promised you that I would have a guest from the UK to come in here. And if you paid attention, you know, I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. If they say I misunderstood, then okay, I accept that. But actually, I did not misunderstand. They told us they would be here last Wednesday. And when they didn't come last Wednesday, I whatever they said, I went along with. Now, here it is Wednesday again, and they still not here. At least not openly saying they're here. And this is from the brother who, you know, there are people out there that hear me. And they are constantly, you know, like this one brother in particular, he has been contacting people and have been arranging for them to come in here and talk with me. It's getting harder and harder. I know why. It's just that, you know, it's, you know, people that's right up, you know, the planet Mercury is so close to the sun that you, relatively speaking, that we don't imagine that any life like this would live on there. You know, that Mercury, in other words, is outside, is too close for comfort for life like this. Do you understand? Just too familiar. Now, hold on a minute. Too familiar, sun. And familiarity breeds contempt, in this case for the planet Mercury. Familiarity breeds contempt for the life that we have. And so you have to be respectful of that which gives you life. The earth get too close and we all die. You see, and then the earth becomes lesser than it was. You see, it would have no one to man it. And what is the point of a car without a driver? It just sits there. So we you know, while people come in and try to convince me that the Holy Bible is a lie, yet I'm looking at what the Holy Bible says, and it's proven to be the truth. For instance, now the letter, this is the little note that the brother who set the meeting up. And we all know, he knew and we knew what was agreed on in the first place, because they said that they wanted to be intelligent and they wanted to listen and get an understanding of what I teach so they could come in and be intelligent in their questioning of me. Problem is, when you really listen to what I'm teaching, I don't leave no questions for you. You think that's a boast. Well, there's one way to prove it's a boast, and that's to come in here and question me on something that I said that I have not already explained. You see, how many times have you heard a person ask me a question and I say, you obviously wasn't listening to me? You see, unlike you, I'm not standing up just saying what somebody told. Allah didn't just tell me to say what he said. He'll speak to you along with his words. Like a teacher does with a book. When they're teaching you, we're going to open the page so-and-so, and we're going to start at paragraph so-and-so, and they will read it with you, and then they will start expounding on it and telling you and showing you how the book not only tells you something, it shows you where it, you know, when they give you a test, you have to give them the answer that the book gave, right? Because they're trying to teach you to remember what's in the book. Trouble is, the books that they give you are full of lies. So while they're giving you a lot of stuff that's out of books, they ain't gave you no proof of none of that stuff. That's just stuff they told you. Yeah, you come in here and I'll show you that they ain't gave you nothing. That's why you get angry with me when I ask you questions and present to you an argument against something that you got out of their book. And when you try to do that with me, you find that I'm not just standing up quoting what the book said. I understand what it said. I'm the book walking. If you don't believe, you come on in there. That's one way to prove it. But I can't get you to come. The book told me I wasn't going to be able to get you to come. They sought to hide themselves. And since, remember it says in the rocks and in the ditch, as it is written, my Father's house shall be called a mosque, and you've turned it into a den of thieves. Ain't no church ever been called no house of prayer, but a mosque, that's the very meaning of the word. It's a place where it's a house of prayer. That's why ain't no chairs in there. Because the way they pray is they go through all of them different positions. They don't even know why the prophet gave them that. Then come in here and try to tell me that I can't understand Islam unless I can read Arabic. Well, you can speak it and think it and can't understand it. Otherwise, why are you building mosques that the people in Paris, they don't even want you there in some of them? They're closing them down. Why? The Holy Quran says why. Right here in chapter 9, and that's the chapter entitled Hypocrite. I didn't say hippopotamus. Hypocrites. It says, you know, that word hypocrite is deep. Just depend on how you look at it. You notice they have what they call a hypodermic. It's needle. It's made to go up underneath. Is that right? It's called hypodermic. Your skin layer of skin that covers your bone is called your dermis, the epidermis. And then you get hypodermic, where hypodermic up beneath the dermic. Huh? If I got it wrong, I haven't went to them schools you went to. I'm just talking about what I was taught and learned to put together when they taught me the compound word in elementary school. The compound word is the word something. That's a compound word. That's more than one word. Something. But they make it into one word, but it's a compound word. And when you know the definition of some and you know the definition of thing, when you put them together, then you understand that what that word means, at least basically. Okay. You notice, you know, when the person that meets, you notice the messengers of God, Jesus, there's no messenger of God that didn't come in contact with hypocrite. The religious people of their time were hypocrites. Because you didn't accept them. You said God sent you. And they proved that God had sent them because they had you running away from them. You couldn't argue with them and win, so your only thing was you'd try to take their life. If you could, you'd have been unto them. If you could. Let me see what's happening with this thing. Getting on my nerve. Let's try that. Well, we got issues with our little let me unplug something here. See what happens. Try that. Now, that's better. So, you look at people that could not argue with Jesus. He used to say to them, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees. Them was and educated people who could write and read. And he would tell them, woe to you, scribes, Pharisees, hypocrites. Huh? And you notice, that's all they could do is criticize Jesus. There's that word crit, huh? You notice, these people, they come in here and done messed up their children. Yes, their children going in their schools, murdering one another. Remember Columbine? Yes, remember, what's that, Sandy Hook? That was a youngster that they educated. And you want to compare the way I'm raising my children to the way you raised yours? Mine ain't running up and down the street trying to murder nobody. Them your children doing that. I put some on mine behind. You decided that God don't know what he taught. You decided that you would raise your child like you raising a dog. Everybody know you can't just keep on beating on a dog. You break his spirit. If you're trying to get a watchdog, you better not beat him too much. If you beat him too much, he gonna be scared of everything. If you don't beat a child enough, that will that he has, he's never gonna learn to control it. He's going to think that he can do whatever he please to whoever he please, whenever he please. And then you're going to have Sandy Hook. You're going to have Columbine. You're going to have all this garbage that you created this. Unmute your phone and talk to me. I told you a long time ago that you're moderating. I tell you what, you go out there and fill your swimming pool with water. Just fill it. And then don't put no more in there. And go sit up out there and watch it. I mean, watch it close. All the water in there will evaporate and you'll never see it. And you were sitting there watching. And you see, I've been sitting here watching your minds evaporate. And I can see a lot of things that you don't see. That's why I warned you. Allah told me, he said, son of man, I've made you a watchman. I've been sitting here watching. Come on in here. Unmute your phone. You who call me crazy. I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to let the people see. You ain't got no mind. Your mind about half gone already. Pretty soon, I ain't going to have to talk to you no more because Allah going to say it ain't going to do no good. Just like with Noah. He told Noah, it was revealed to Noah, he said, ain't none of your people going to believe but him who's already believed. He said, go in the ark. I'm going to deal with these. Now, what you just seen today. I grew up out there in that LA around San Bernardino. I'm very familiar with that area. You want blood? You soon gonna have plenty of it. Yeah. offered you a solution to your problem, something that would satisfy both sides. The gun manufacturers and the people who want guns. I told you what to do. And I didn't think it up on my own. I just observed it and brought it to your attention. You already been doing. You already know how to keep your guns. Your Army bases and your Marine Corps bases and your military bases is proof that you know how to keep weapons. You keep them in armories. So no matter how drunk and man, we used to have some fights on the base. And they still have them on there. You don't never hear about it. I mean, when you get a bunch of men that's been trained to fight and get them drunk, do you honestly think it's always peace out there? Get in fights and laugh about it the next day. Do you understand? Okay. But the violence never escalates to a civil war because the weapons are properly kept. In order to get your rifle, you have to get out of the armory. And if you're checking it out of the armory, you're not the only one that's going to be checking out of the armory. Everybody else, unless you got guard duty, and even then, they know who's out there. And you ain't drunk. If you got guard duty, you ain't drinking. You're sober. And if you go crazy, but you too. They know who got the gun out there. And they know how to come get you. I mean, it don't take it's people more knowledgeable. I never did no survey on how many armories there is in Camp Pendleton. And there was no need for me to do that. Even in when you are in a war zone, then it's normal if you are I'm not getting into no intricacies about how the military works, but it's normal for the certain ones to keep their guns at all times with them. But in a behind the lines, a secure area, you don't walk in no, even when war going on, you don't walk in no port area and find everybody walking around with no gun. Guns is in the armory. You see, what you got is what, like I told you, I done been to this rodeo before. It's just been on a different level, but I done seen this stuff before. When people in authority see bad stuff happening and don't seem to be disturbed by it, it's because they help and make it happen. And 9 times out of 10, they're getting paid to help make it happen. It's just like that boy that came in here and I told you he didn't really have nothing he want to say. He just coming in here trying to disrupt and trying to provoke me to act a fool with him. And somebody probably sent him in here. You see, that's the, look, the devil has no authority to have God's people. He has to provoke you to leave the path. If you don't bite on the bait they try to do, you heard of the term baiting people? If you don't bite at the bait, he ain't got no authority to do nothing to you. And he will admit that. He will say in the end, he said, I didn't have no authority over you. I just baited you and you came. It just called you and you came, you know. Same thing. I'm proving he ain't got no authority over you. I invite the whole world that's been taught by them to come in here and show me that they know something I don't know concerning this field. And all of them running. And when they try to come in here, you'll notice that they want to do all the talking. Don't want me to ask them no question. They give a different question. When I'm talking and they ask me a question, I stop and answer their question. And even when they stop me to ask me a question and I start answering, they cut me off before I finish answering the question. And I have to remind them that you asked the question, why don't you let me finish answering before you go to the next question? They are not asking questions to satisfy their mind being open to see if I'm really truthful. They're asking me questions hoping that they will hear a lie. And when they don't hear a lie, they go to another question. Do you understand? Yeah, I'm just trying to show you. I can read. Mighty Poe living book that can't read the written book. And another living book. Everybody's a book. Whether you realize it or not, you're a walking book. Open to whoever can read. And Allah has taught me to read very well. So the brother that he said, I just heard back from Kalam. That's his name, Kalam. And he has some kind of family situation going on, and told me until further notice, he is unable to do any shows. I tried, and I will keep you posted when his plans change. Okay. See, that's the, I just had something happen to me, and I told you what it was. Now, don't stop me from coming in here when it's meeting time to start. Got to do one thing. Got to do with that. If you put your word that you're going to, then your word is stick to that. That's what word is on me. That's when showed up, and I done mess around there. And he said, well, look, man, I told you that I'd be ready to do this so and so. Now, look, you know, back to you. But if I didn't renege, why did you? You can't hold somebody else to their words. If you died of it, the crack was broken. Give a person your word, you assuming that that person is being totally honest with you. If they're not being honest and you find out that they're not being honest, that's what Allah said. He said, my Covenant is not on works. It's just like them false accusers of Dr. Cosby. They think because they get a lot of false accusers together. How I know they're accusers? They didn't bring no proof. And they had proof, you never should have made the accusation. Even the laws of this land says in a court of law, a person is presumed innocent until guilty. If you ain't got no proof, how you gonna prove it? Just take my word for it. Yeah. Your word in the world of liars. Are you a messenger of God? He says. And he said, no, well, then I can't take your word for it. And if you were of God, you wouldn't name here without some proof of what you were saying. When you give a word, what is the meaning of charity? To give freely. Charity proves all things. If I say I'm giving you the truth, and should be able to prove it. If I ain't proved it, I didn't give you the truth. 2 times 2 is 4. Well, how you? You can't tell me what you understand. What if somebody asks me why? You answer like that if God himself tell you something. No, I know God said, and I believe it. But how he know? Go ask him. Because I'm your way. And when my daddy told me something, is that brother said, daddy said, go do it such a. Why he want us to do that? I don't know. Go ask him. That's all right. So no, I wasn't gonna go ask him nothing. When Abraham asked Allah to show him how he give life to the dead, Allah asked him a question. So, you disbelieve? Because this didn't just come up when Jesus said it. Remember, Jesus said, it is written, thou shalt not test the Lord thy God. Huh? You don't want to test him to see if what he gonna do. You better more so test yourself. Don't. But anyway, in the 107th verse, it says, "Those who built a mosque to cause harm to Islam." Isn't that something? They built a mosque, not because they wanted to propagate the faith, but because they wanted to misrepresent the faith. Let me see. What did Satan say when Allah told him? The mind of the devil is something. The devil, that term is an acronym for deviser of illusion. What did he say when Allah told him to submit and he wouldn't? He said, well, as you've judged me to be erring now, you made me to go wrong. I'm going to make evil look good to them on earth. Well, if something is made to look like one thing that it's not, is that not an illusion? And if the devil said that's what he was going to do, I'm proving to you that I know what I'm talking about. He's the deviser of illusion. Huh? Okay. You know, that's why, I mean, a good example, when they heard me correcting my baby, when he got through with it, he saw me hit my baby with a shoe. That's what he said. Is that right? And a whole lot of them went along with it. Not one of them corrected him. Why? Devils. Legion. Why? Because they are many. Many antichrists have gone out into the world. Yeah. That's what's written. And all they can do is sit up out there trying to use my videos for graffiti. I don't let them. I've already gave a standing order. Whenever you people that disagree with me, you've heard me say, I don't want to talk to the people who agree with me. I'm not interested in just hearing somebody going in here to tell me how much they like what I'm teaching or whatnot. I appreciate the sentiment. And it does offer a word of encouragement when you go online and you see people that say, son of man, keep up the good work and that kind of thing. That's nice. But the one that I want to talk is the one that say that nigga ain't no man. That stuff he teaching ain't right. That's the one I want to talk to. Why? Because just because something appears to be true to you, found out it ain't. Honestly, you are a scientist, a seeker of truth, and you close the door to correction. You close the door to disagreement. In this infinite universe is the absolute. That's the way of living. You can need every day. What do you think is written that whosoever shall humble himself as a little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven? But it's the same is great. It's the same is greatest. Allah is the greatest. As a child, he even asked, is there a God beside me? I know not any. Only speak that which, and we speak that which we do know. So when he says, I'm good, well, that as far as I know, that is my equal. But I'm depending on somebody else, instead of people depending on me. I want you to understand that I was happy. I didn't get out the way. As the members said, some of them to come up to him and tell him, dear apostle, you're getting old now. Yeah. Poor fool. Yeah, how in the world I'm gonna replace that? I can't choose no replacement. But he just smiled at him and let him go on. Simple-minded people. They believe that was the messenger of God. They just was going along with what him saying. And in the back, they thought that the teaching that white man, the devil, was just name called. In there. But you think what you want. White man, because if he tell me he ain't, he may have to prove it. And he knows. It's them. You hear him say, English, sitting up here running off at the mouth and don't know what you're talking about. Don't you got the white man language, and you ask where it's from. Didn't make yourself, then where did you get it from? Didn't you get it from your... Who's your daddy? Let's get it straight. Hey, tell me we're breaking up bad on YouTube. My thing, really, that might be what I've been hearing. Is that better? Is that any better? Okay, y'all do better. No, you look at some of the movies, and one of the most main movies that he calls God unjust. I saw this thing on cops. This young lady, her parents want to let her go to spend the night with her, spend a weekend with her school friend. And dad. And she was thinking the worst of her mama. And they let her talk them and go. Come to find a school friend, old prostitute that was recruited for him. They drugged her up and all kind of things too. When your parents, it's just like, see, you don't know how to determine when somebody. One good thing about having you ever a dog or whatnot. I remember when and she was the Doberman Pinscher. It was a female dog. And and the gate was open. The heart was and I couldn't find my dog. When I found out, oh, I lit into it. Don't do that. Because I hated her. I was whooping the dog because I love my dog. Where I knew he was safe. As I grew up, I understood why I got so many women. And I understood why I couldn't go when there's to go to the parties as many as other people could. And it was because my and my mother, you see. I didn't have no bunch of stuff. I mean, we was dirt poor, man. But when it came to love, I wasn't poor, you know. My dad would have killed a brick over me. I understood that when I grew up. But, you know, it's that's why you heard me tell, I don't care about my children. You put your hands on one of them, you find out how I feel about it. I tell them, I'll back them up on that. I'm not going to stand for it. People are abusing my children, all my brothers and sisters. You know, that God love casteth out fear. You know, that, you know, the duty of a man is to protect his own. Secure his own. Maintain his own. And when you do, you don't have to be offensive power. And when you put in a position where you have to defend your own, there be four of you, Allah is number 5. He always with you. Even the law in this hand is with you. If someone affects you, they say he got witnesses that he was just defending this. They say, well, you can go. That's just the way it is. But don't you let these people who are ones who submit to God and you see them doing things that God forbidden man do, then you know they're lying. The hypocrites are surely liars. Yeah, you know, it's like when the real definition of Christian, and I look up the meaning, church going and Bible believing, that says they are Christian. You know what they mean? They mean they are one who believes in the Word of God and that they believe in the teachings of Jesus. Well, I don't call myself Christian. I call myself what Jesus called himself. Jesus was a Muslim. And I call myself Muslim. What's your best proof that he was in the Bible? Jesus as a righteous servant of God. Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. Well, if Jesus saw him as a righteous man, Christianity, right? No prophet believed in Islam.